Let thy enemy be scattered. Let those that hate thee flee from before
So I'm probably jumping ahead because I want to definitely go through the challenge for a minute. But now that you're on the other side of that, do you see any possibility of you working in Aqua?
Yeah, I'm actually, I have approached the principal for the elementary school age children to work there for this past year, academic year 2024-25. I did volunteer,
Okay.
teach along with Maura Nafshani and a little with Maura Lisa in the program. Maura Nafshani is very instrumental for kind of convincing the principal to allow me to do that. I think I did a pretty decent job. Or I think the principal was pleased with my performance as a dedicator. And, she tried to compensate me financially where she could uh, 3 times, but for the rest, I volunteered.
Right.
And I didn't have a problem. I was grateful for the compensation, but that was not what I
Right.
was expecting. And so, because the classes that we have are determined by enrollment, she's trying to wait to see how many hours the Ministry of Education is going to give the school, the elementary age level children. So I'm trying to, I have what's required.
Right.
I've let her know that, and so she's gonna.
I pray so.
I pray so.
I
It's
pray
very.
so. We definitely need your mind at Aqua.
I I I really want to teach our children.
Yeah.
I understand, and I do agree that Hebrew is the first language, and it's very important for our children to be proficient in Hebrew. So I support that, but it's also important for them to be proficient in English as well, because the world is moving towards English, and then here you have a community that is English speaking. We should be proficient in the language.
Absolutely, we
And
should.
so-
But what's even more significant in my mind is not so much the Hebrew or the English, it's the what we bring to our children when we teach them.
Exactly.
It's the cultural aspect of it.
Exactly.
It's who we are. It's
Right.
reinforcing our values and our teachings.
Exactly.
And that to me is just it's more important than any of the rest of it.
Likewise.
No.
Likewise. It's very important. It's very important for your children to be taught with people by people in their image.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
It's not about black and white
it's not about
as much as it is about values
spirit.
and spirit and
Right.
energy.
Because you can have a teacher from another race, but if they understand the importance of children having a national pride, a racial pride,
Exactly.
then
Exactly.
And even understand that people with racial pride, groups with racial pride, we can coexist peacefully.
Yes, we can.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be I'm Hebrew, I'm better than you. I'm a Jew, I'm better than you.
Right.
No, we can actually coexist.
Yeah. And
in
we must.
harmony. And you
we
must.
if we're going to have any peace on this planet.
Right.
You
if
must.
we're gonna be on this
If
planet.
we're going to be on this planet.
And
Exactly.
so it's just like,
yeah.
This is what I want to do. I want to give back. It's my way of giving back to the community. And so, yeah, that's what I want to do.
I'm definitely praying that you can make that happen.
Thank you.
I don't think that I can see me going back at this point. But
why? That's our loss, because you are a brilliant, multi-talented, efficient, professional woman. I mean, you are. And you bring excellence in whatever environment, whatever you bring a spirit of excellence with you. And so that's a loss.
When it comes to my people, that has always been my passion. So I grew up with activist parents.
Me
So-
too.
So they were very active.
Yeah, I did.
Wow,
Very.
this has been so much. So we talked about the summer camps, the nurse volunteer prenatal exercise classes. I had no idea you were a nurse volunteer.
Let me not get the wrong impression. Let me not give the wrong impression. Okay, so in our ministry of divine health, a nurse is someone who just like really assists the doctors.
Right.
The doctors do the majority of the work.
Right.
And like I might go take somebody's blood pressure.
Okay.
At the time, Doda Zavina and I were asked to do it.
Okay.
And Ima Offer gave us our training.
Okay.
And, so I might be, need you to take so-and-so's blood pressure or something like that. So it's really like, I would say almost just like really a healer's assistant.
Okay.
But they called it nurse, so that's why. That's the terminology.
Well, as a nurse volunteer, it's like we used to have candy stripers back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You're an aide. You do what you're told. It's just assistant. It's not the medical things like that,
Right.
But I didn't know that you did that.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, a lot. Okay, so people like you just know everybody, and I have, because being here with no status, I've had to work where I could get work in our community.
Right.
And a lot of times the work is caring for people who are having health challenges.
Right.
So I have been the caregiver for quite a few members of our community who have had from chronic to even life-threatening health challenges.
Wow.
And so I've dealt with that a lot.
Right.
And not nearly as much as our doctors.
Right.
I'm not in any way trying to equate, but I've dealt with that. I've dealt with that at least about 6 times.
Right.
And for extended periods with 6 people for about.
Well, caregivers may not be doctors, but they have their lane that they drive in, and everything that they do is absolutely necessary because a doctor can't be there all the time to do what a caregiver would do.
Right.
So.
And I've learned so much about first comforting people.
Right.
And even being stern in serious crises.
Mm-hmm.
I've always approached every person that I've given care, no matter what the illness is, with the mentality that was a classroom for me.
Right. And
I was learning in that classroom. I was learning good things, and I was learning what not to do. I just always have entered these situations with that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my calling.
Right.
But it's definitely something that I've done.
And done well.
And done, I would say, yeah, done well. So and like I said, things hadn't always ended. I've had close people that I've cared for to make transition.
Right.
Very hard.
Right.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And I've met them, and I've learned how people can be gracious in the face of transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned how people can be stubborn.
Right.
In the face of transitioning.
Right.
It's very interesting. This is just what I've observed through experience. When you're having a health challenge, that is the time to temper your spirit. Right. That is the time it's no greater time to heal what's going on with you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally.
Mm-hmm. That is
actually the greatest time. That's like, so it's a gift. It's always a gift to heal, but that's when it's almost the most life-changing.
Right. I mean, the most necessary.
The most necessary. And even if your time and your physical presence is limited, that is the greatest time to make amends. That is the greatest time to let go.
Mhm.
That's an awesome time to speak your truth. And it's almost necessary for the people around you
Right.
to hold your hand and help you
Mhm.
in
To
that
navigate
transition,
that transition.
to navigate your transition.
Right. Right.
That is what I have learned, and I've seen it. I've seen it to where I even started reading about it,
Mhm.
and I remember talking to Rukama about it, and she said it is actually a very beautiful time when we really understand what is going on,
And when
and
you
when we
accept
really
it,
accept and
Mhm.
understand
right.
the posture that we're supposed to have as people, the
Right.
person who's going through it, about to transition,
Right.
and the person who's there to
With
hold
you.
their
Yeah.
hand as caregiver, spouse, child,
Mhm.
whatever, friend.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful time. And then we're so scared of it. We're so afraid
I'm
of
not
it. I am who I am today because of my parents' teachings. I'll say
Exactly.
that. You know, the
Exactly.
kingdom has helped me, but that foundation of
Came
who
from
I
your
am today,
parents.
it came from them.
Yeah.
All the good things about me,
Yeah.
that they developed that in me. I had some great parents.
Mhm.
And so I just, I am so happy that I'm in the position now that if my mother had a health challenge,
That you
I
can.
could go and help her.
Yeah. Whereas before you couldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
That I can go and help her. Like I owe it to her. That's how I feel. Like in societies where people live to be in their hundreds,
Right.
a lot of them live around their
Their
children.
children. Yeah.
And one of the things that's keeping them going is the youth and the vitality
Right.
around them, and being loved, feeling loved by their family members,
Right.
and feeling secure that they're going to be cared for.
Mhm.
So when people don't have that, something's off, because that's the way families are supposed. Family life looks like that, y'all.
Right. And when they don't have that, I know that also hastens that leaving here
Right.
process.
And I'd like to give people credit when they've had an impact on my life. I just like to give people credit anyway.
Right.
And I got Ben Masael, when I worked at Teva Deli,
Mhm.
he gave me a book. And I was scared of this book for years. And it was called The Tibetan Book of Living and Dying.
Ah, okay.
And one day we were at work in the break room, and he took this book out. He said, "You can have it." Well, first of all, I saw it.
Mhm.
Saw it in this, and I was like, "Ooh."
What is that?
And he took it out and he said, "You can have it." He said, "This book has changed my life."
Wow.
But because of what I felt about death, I ain't reading that. Dying, I'm not about to read that. But it has been an eye-opening book for me. It's full of just what you're supposed to do in case, when this happens in our lives. And, even, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, because in the kingdom, we believe in physical immortality. But that is something that has yet been realized.
Right.
Okay. And right now we're dealing with transitions. People are transitioning.
Right.
So it is a reality.
Right.
Okay. So, but it helps. It tells you what to do for these people.
Mhm.
And it's been, and it tells
check it
you,
out.
you know what I'm saying? It helps. It tells you you have to free your spirit.
Yeah.
There are things you have to do before you go to the next realm.
Right.
And I totally believe in it.
Right.
And I stand on that.
Mhm.
Because before I read this book, it's what I saw. What I said to you earlier, that's what I saw from working with people in our community who were being challenged with transition. So, we just leave it right there.
Okay.
You know.
You are just a wealth of wisdom. This is our little trivia section that we do in the middle.
Okay.
And these are different categories for the cards. And just pick one, hand it to me. I'll read it to you, and then we'll look at what the answer is. Okay, so this one is favorites. Your favorite fruit, vegetable, or meal?
Well, you know, I'm a yum, so
You got a lot of favorites.
favorite fruit is between watermelon, mango, and lychee.
Okay.
Okay. Favorite
Vegetable?
greens.
It's any specific type of greens or all greens?
I mean, I like all greens, but my favorite greens are kale
Okay.
and collard greens.
Okay.
Live
or cooked?
I like cooked. I can eat them live. I like them live, but you know, cooked. Meal. A sandwich. I love sandwiches. I do.
What's your favorite sandwich?
I don't even have them. I mean, right now, a mushroom cheeseburger, maybe.
Mushroom burgers?
With a slice of vegan cheese.
You make your own, or you?
Oh no, I love Yair's mushroom.
Oh, okay.
burgers.
I haven't tried.
And
Yair's
Toveet has a good mushroom burger too.
Okay,
any mushroom burgers that we make, I like. Toveet mushroom burger you buy in the Nation store. Yair's mushroom burger you can buy from Imazd on the Kefar.
Oh, okay. I didn't know she sold those for them. Okay.
And so, I mean, I like wholesome meals too.
Mm-hmm.
I like live foods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like my favorite live meal now is a big coax salad with like 10 different things in it, including chickpeas and some cube sliced cheese, cube tofu, tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, radishes, cabbage, lettuce, onions, arugula, absolutely. I love a good salad with a really good French dressing. I love French dressing.
Okay. French is my least favorite.
Really?
Garlic dressing. I love garlic dressing.
Okay. What French tastes like garlic?
No, but I don't.
You don't
I just never really got to the French dressing thing.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Okay, let's pick another one.
Okay. That was yellow. Green.
Okay, so this is a green. Your personal thoughts on family, divine marriage, parenting, children's roles in the family.
Okay. All right. Now that's good. You know why it's good? Because I am researching, and I'm like 60% done, generations.
Okay.
Like starting from the 1800s to Generation Alpha, which our younger children are not Generation Z, they are Generation Alpha.
Okay.
And I'm doing it to kind of, I don't know how I'm going to do it and how I'm going to share it, but I'm doing it to share some understanding.
Okay.
To help get rid of this generation gap.
Okay.
And so family. I think family is everything. Family is the foundation of strong families.
Right.
Are the foundation of strong nations.
Exactly.
I think in your family you find your first teachers, your first friends. You know what I'm saying? It's just your first confidants. Families are supposed to be close.
Right.
I do think that families should live. And they may not live in the same city. They need to be living in the same country. Because new parents need family support raising their children.
Right.
Parents need children's support as they mature in age. We just need each other.
Right.
I think marriage.
We talked about marriage.
Your best friend is supposed to be your spouse.
Yeah.
And so how can your spouse be your best friend if he's your authority or she's your authority figure?
Right.
I think couples should sit and talk about how they're going to raise their children.
Right.
You should
before marriage?
Yes. I think before marriage you should get counseling.
Yes.
couples counseling before
Before
marriage.
marriage, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know when I got married, I didn't understand the depth of marriage. Even though I saw my parents married, nobody talked to
Right.
me the way I would talk
Right.
to people coming behind me, my own children.
Right.
And so yeah, that couple that's dating or pursuing, however you want to call it, they should have some marriage counseling.
Well, that's really what Mikudesha is supposed to be with the counseling. I know, I saw that the counseling and whatnot beforehand, but it's another kind of.
Okay, and that's fine, and it could be. I think there's a need for professional marriage counseling.
I agree. Not only marriage counselors, professional counselors across the board.
Absolutely.
Family, grief, trauma, marriage,
even business counseling.
Business, the whole nine, professionals, because some individuals, and this is no judgment, but some individuals have been placed in position.
Anyway, so I think family is everything.
Yeah.
And plural marriage, and Acote Kaya Bhatnasikali Mele talked about the family structure. She said, first of all, why are you getting married? And yeah, you're in love, but the purpose of marriage, right? What is the purpose of? There's many purposes.
Right.
Okay. And I'm talking about positive purposes. Right. Not because you like the way somebody looks.
Right.
And the way, okay, because he spent a lot of money on me. I'm just saying. Right. Those are very superficial reasons to get married.
Right.
Marriages are to build something. Right. First of all, it's to build productive, fruitful families to keep this community, this nation productive and fruitful. And so you're doing that. That's a challenge with one woman. So then you have multiple women. And can you do it? The question I'm asking, is it possible to, there are different types of love, I understand.
Right.
And, a man may have one thing with one wife and something with another wife, but is it equal?
Is it supposed to be equal? Those are questions and conversations that definitely.
I just know what I see.
Right.
I think there's a lot of studying that needs to be done. I'm saying, first of all, we need to study. We come from a broken family structure as the descendants or ascendants of former slaves.
Right.
And stolen Africans.
Right.
And so it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know what I see.
Yeah.
I know what I experience.
Exactly.
I know what I know what people tell me they're going through.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that everybody is handling plural marriage the way they're supposed to be handling it. I think, let me just say this. If for me, and I believe this is correct. If my spouse wants to take another wife, I need to know about that.
Exactly.
It
needs to be a discussion, a conversation.
And we need to have
before he even goes to
before he even
enter into that. Yes. Yes.
But we need to talk. Is that something I want to do?
Yeah. Well, that needs to be a conversation before he and I even get married.
Right.
Is that somewhere you want to go? Is that something you would see that you might want to do later in life?
You want to take on another responsibility, but are you, what's our relationship looking like?
Right.
And I'm not saying a marriage between one man and one woman has to be perfect before he takes on another woman, but y'all need to be working on your marriage.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no take a wife and then push me to the side. Or we have problems and you go to another wife because, I got another. None of that. And these are the things that I have seen in our midst that cause problems.
Right.
And,
there's a whole list of things that have caused problems.
Yes.
But
having favorites and, keep that to yourself. Or we have to address those things. Yes. But then for the youth, see, I tell my daughters, be very real. If you're not in support of plural marriage. When you marry the men of this community, they grew up in a polygynous society,
Right.
wherein they are they can have more than one wife.
Right. Right.
That doesn't just go away.
Right.
And if a man, I don't know if our young women are being realistic when they say, well, I don't want no sis wife, I ain't dealing with that.
That they're going to deal with it one way or the other.
You're going to deal with it in your face or behind your back.
Exactly.
And that's what happens.
Yeah.
And so I just, for me, it's just like,
it's definitely a multi-generational conversation.
We need to have it.
It needs to be had.
Need to have it. And we need to
and it's not a one-time conversation.
Right. And it's got to be a real conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We get a mark.
Yeah.
But there are some real things that need to be addressed, and we can't be afraid. That shows maturity when you can have the hard conversations without hating each other, being mad that you said that. I mean, why you say that? But
we have to be honest about even with getting the mark. What I always like to liken it to is when you go to school, you don't have one subject that you get a mark for. You have 10, 15 different subjects that you take. Every one of them you get a passing or failing grade in. Mm-hmm. So you might get, 90s and 80s and 70s and some things, and then you might get a 54 or 23 in something else. You have to realistically assess and analyze, okay, what did we get to 23 in? What did we get to 55 in? What did we get to 70 in even?
Well, we get the F's in.
And what did we get the F? And what did we get the 100? So the things that we got the 100s, okay, we know those things are working. Anything that's above a 90 for me is great. Anything under the 90, I've always been like that in school. So, we need to discuss those things that we got the 20s, the zeros, the 55s realistically, and not just say, give us our mark. Because you didn't get 100 in everything. And you flunked some things.
You're right.
If you flunk a job interview, you don't get the job. Whatever requirements, if you flunk them, you don't get that.
And you have to be, like you say, honest and mature enough to even look at it the way you're saying it. Because what you're saying is true. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Because
we got to get there. As a people across the board on the planet, we all have to get there.
Yeah, we do. So plural marriage right now, I just feel like it needs some work.
Yeah.
It needs a lot of work. It's no way that you have people who've been, for example, I'm a woman, so I'll use an example of a woman. There's no way that you have a woman in a marriage for years and she's seen her spouse have different women come in and out of her life, and she doesn't have any say so, but then she's expected to welcome this woman in her family. She's expected to serve her food, maybe keep her children, maybe take care of her. No. That's not. That woman is a human being. We're dealing with human beings. Right. We're human beings. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Do unto others as you will have them do unto you.
Exactly.
I am a human being. You are a human being. When we come to this marriage, we're coming to this marriage as human beings.
So let's treat each other like
others.
That. Yeah.
Neighbors.
Yeah.
Your closest neighbor is the person you sleep in the bed with. I'm just saying.
Right.
So I just...
like I say, it warrants conversation.
A lot of conversation. I'm not making any
open, honest dialogue.
Cut and dry comments. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It needs some work.
Yeah. And until we're able to assess what needs to be assessed honestly, truthfully, for the purpose of building, not destroying, we'll continue to not completely succeed at what it is that we desire to.
I mean, in today's world, just a marriage with one man, one woman need work. Our marriage is one man, one woman need work.
Going into it, like the young daughter said, what is your reason for getting married? Mm-hmm. For the young sons, what is your reason? Why do you want more than one wife? Just because you can have one? So, all right, you can pick another one. Okay, so the orange ones are fill in the blank. In what year, and I don't even have the answer to this, in what year was the first Yom Kippur celebrated?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I've checked around and nobody has been able to give me this answer. So if anybody's watching this and y'all had an answer, please give it to me.
Okay, I don't.
But who is it celebrated in honor of? I know you know that.
In honor of Nasi Garia,
Yes.
the
Okay,
Prince of Love.
let's pick one more. Favorites, thing to do for fun.
I'm very social, so I like to socialize for fun. But then I do like to have some quiet moments. Right now, one of the things I'm really enjoying is going outside the gate of my house on the hill there with the grass and grounding.
Okay.
I love to see the sunrise and sunset. I like to go sun gazing.
Oh, okay.
So, all of those things I enjoy. I love spending time with my loved ones, my children, my spouse, my friends, quality time.
Okay.
Love, I'm learning to love to just sit with myself and be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I think after raising
8 children.
10,
right.
that
10 children.
I need
Right. You need some quiet.
lots of
and some
quiet
peace.
time.
Outdoors.
And then
and
living
nature.
with adult children, I need lots of quiet time. Lots of quiet time.
All of your children still live in the home?
For now. Except my youngest son, he lives with his father.
Mm-hmm.
But, my son right above him, he goes to his father's house on the weekends. But,
Everybody
all
else.
these grown people growner than Ema. It's time for some people to go and spread them wings and fly right on out the nest. Okay?
I hear you. We have talked about so much, and there's so much more we still could talk about. I'll let you choose. If you want to talk, well, we did talk about the challenges of not having status, but do you want to just speak briefly on being on the other side of that?
I'm grateful. After 27 years, it's almost kind of like unreal.
Mm-hmm.
27 years in a country with no status and being in a minority of people in your community can be very debilitating to the mind.
Yeah.
And because, when I first got here, it was like I stayed on the Kefar a lot. There would be months that I hadn't even left Dimona. Weeks I hadn't even left the Kefar. And just year after year like that, so there are things I don't know how to do. I remember when my first husband and I separated, I didn't even know how to get a phone line. I could not figure that business out. And and finally, I got added to somebody's existing account
Package. Mm-hmm.
package, right? But I couldn't figure it out because I just didn't have any experience.
Right. You weren't exposed to
I
those
wasn't
things.
exposed to that. I had a phone that my ex-husband gave me, and all I could do was receive calls. I couldn't even call out. And so it was just like, I had very little money. I went and opened up a bank account years ago
Mm-hmm.
when I didn't have status, just to prove to myself that I was an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Right.
And I opened it with 50 shekels.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have today. And, that's what I'm using today. But I'm just saying, it was, I forced myself to get my children's passports on my own.
Even before you got status?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had my children's passports before status. I had to reclaim my adulthood.
Yeah.
I was so dependent.
Right.
And, when the embassy would come to the Kefar, definitely I would participate. I would come. But then I was told I couldn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out I needed a DNA test for all my children. I did that on my own.
Wow.
And after that, I was like, you can't tell me nothing. I go and conduct as much as I can. I conduct a lot of my business in the Israeli population by myself.
Right.
With broken Hebrew.
But you get it done.
Yeah. Now, sometimes I take, my oldest daughter,
Right.
Having to recently deal with Batuak Lumi. I took Yalitol,
Right.
but, going to the bank to say, now I have I got my blue book.
Right.
I did all that by myself.
Right.
It's just different because not feeling established anywhere, because even though we're in the kingdom, we're in our community, I don't have no health care. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm 50.
Right.
I want to go get a mammogram.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to go to OB/GYN after
Right.
being here for almost 30 years.
Right.
Even if something was wrong, I might deal with it naturally. But,
Exactly.
but I want to go get a checkup.
Right.
I think that's
Right.
wise.
Right.
We've seen the results of people not doing that, and then you
Right.
look up 2 months later, they may transition.
So now you're able to do all
I'm
that.
able to
Everything
do
is
all-
kicked in now.
Yeah, I mean, I at one point, was it last year? Yeah, I just bought me some insurance
Mm-hmm.
and had some things done anyway.
Right.
So but it was, I couldn't afford that
Right.
all the time.
Right.
Definitely couldn't afford that for all my children.
Right.
I've had to pay hospital bills for broken arms, other misfortunes out of my pocket.
Yeah.
One child, one night in the hospital, emergency room care, hospitalization care, close to 8,000 shekels. One night, less than 24 hours. And then having to keep your children. I want my children, first of all, my children don't want to live in the States. I want my children to live in the United States.
Yeah.
They're different.
Yeah.
They're different because they were born, even though we have an American accent, they're different because they were born in a different environment.
Right. And
Okay.
raised in that environment.
And raised,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying they can't go, they can go.
Yeah. But not,
You know what I'm saying?
for the place to live.
Right. And
Yeah.
so I applaud my children for holding on,
Right.
my adult children,
Right.
for holding on, because they could have easily,
Just walked away.
and my mother would have gladly received them,
Yeah.
and she's not struggling.
Right.
Okay. And so it's just like trying to keep them motivated.
Right.
Having my oldest daughter actually get a college degree in occupational therapy, being offered a job, sitting on the job for day one, even telling the man, after telling him, I don't have no papers. Oh, we'll work through it. And then when him really realizing, oh, she doesn't have any papers, she can only work one day. How disturbing that was.
Right. Right. But I applaud her for being able to go through school and to finish school without the papers and to achieve. And she had goals and she made them happen.
Right.
Both of your daughters.
Yeah.
Convivia,
Convivia, professional dancer. But it's hard being a freelance dancer.
Right.
They don't have the same they don't have insurance.
Right.
Dancers get injured.
Yeah.
Dancing is a very physical endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
And then professional dancers, they're getting ready for a show. It's nothing for them to dance 8, 9, 10 straight hours. That's nothing. That's really kind of like how their day goes.
Wow.
And then to, all the jobs, she had to create Instagram page. She advertises herself on Instagram. And that has gotten her in music videos,
Commercials. I was like, what? I know her.
and independent
Yeah.
choreographers calling her. Also being connected to Naor has helped her.
Right.
But it's been hard. She paid for her own dance school.
Right.
Y'all paid for her own college.
Right.
Convivia's dance school was 16,000 shekels a year. I had 7 other children. I couldn't afford to pay that.
Right.
She went down to A-Lot, got on that Tayela, that boardwalk, and braided hair.
And made her money.
And made her tuition.
Mm-hmm.
And her father and myself, we paid for everything else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yalitol, because Ono College had a special program
Right.
for our children, her tuition wasn't as much.
Right.
It wasn't nearly as much. But
you still had to come up with the money, whatever
she came
it was.
up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, anytime her father and I, we split the finances, the living finances. She paid for her food. She paid, you know what I'm saying? That's good. I'm proud of them. They should be proud of themselves.
Right.
They
Most
are
certainly.
overcomers.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
applaud them. My son, my oldest son, he works. He's got a strong work ethic. He could have sat in the house and felt sorry for himself. He didn't do that.
But he found a way to get up and go.
Dang. My other two daughters, they, after graduating from high school, they went and did civic services.
Shanatshiru.
Yeah. And they went and did that. And then, for a year they worked here and there. And now a year later after that, they have status. So, and all of them got jobs right away.
Wow.
And we just, got it. We just got our blue books June the 26th.
Hallelujah.
And all of them have jobs. So it's just like, yeah, I'm proud of my children.
I'm proud of you and their father as well. Because,
yeah, absolutely. Right.
Because you all planted those seeds.
Yes, we did.
And they saw you all not sitting on your behinds doing nothing. They saw you all making it happen. Yes.
And hardworking and diligent.
Yes.
Me and I gave the time. That is so true.
So hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So, and yeah. So it's, we plan on traveling. They've watched their friends come and go, and
now it's their turn.
It's our Hallelujah. We plan on doing a little traveling as a family, and just happy, Got to start stacks. We got to save some money.
Yeah, right.
But it's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
it's definitely coming. So we're down to the last two. Well, girl, we didn't talk about so much. So I have three more questions. One is, what motivates you? You think about that for a minute. The other question is about our youth. How do you envision our youth in regard to them continuing what we've spent many years of our lives building and being a part of? What advice would you give them? What three things do you want most for them?
Okay, let's start with what motivates me. Life motivates me.
Okay.
Opening up my eyes every morning motivates me. I don't always feel like, I don't always wake up with the same energy.
Right.
And I'm talking about physical energy.
Right.
Sometimes I'm have seasons that, I'm a human being, so yeah.
And we all can get tired from time to time. They've been up late or whatever.
Of that. Yeah. Discouraged. But just being a parent, another day to parent better, to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I done flopped as a parent.
Say that again.
I've made mistakes as a parent.
Oh,
Not flop, but I've made mistakes.
Okay. I mean, we all have, because it doesn't come with a manual.
Right. Exactly. Just waking up another day to be able to actualize, some of my heart's desires, things that I want to do in life with my skills and talents. My children motivate me.
Okay.
My spouse motivates me to be calm and, take life easy.
Because he's like laid back.
Right. So I'm motivated by that. Because that ensures longevity. You can't just be hard.
Right. All the time.
My friends motivate. My mother motivates me. Just the way she lives her life. In the way, just my father. So I think I'm motivated internally, myself, just knowing, that every day is an opportunity to grow and to be better and to do better and to give.
Right.
And help somebody else grow. Right. And be better and to do better. And people motivate me. I love people. You motivate me.
Toda. You're a people person.
Yes, I am.
So our youth, how do you envision our youth in regard to them continuing what we've spent many years of our lives building and being a part of? What advice would you give them? And what three things do you want most for them?
Wow. Well, first of all, I love our youth. I absolutely love them, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Challenges, not with the challenges, with everything.
Right.
Right. I always say there's no heart like the heart of a kingdom product.
Okay.
I find them to be very innocent. There's an innocence that you will find in most of them, a goodness. And if it's harder to see in others, it's because something went wrong.
Yes.
Something went wrong in their upbringing, in their experience in their environment, family, whatever.
Whatever it may have been.
I think, before I can answer that, I think we have a vision of what we want, what we think our youth should be doing. You know, what it should look like.
What it should look like.
And we're not going to know what it looks like. And when I say we don't know what it looks like, we don't know how the teachings are going to manifest in them. Like, specifically.
Right.
I'm not talking about people giving back and being, you know, to me, Eli Kai in Australia is heralding the doctrine of the kingdom in the four corners of the earth.
Right.
That's Ben Kai's son.
Right.
Because something about his upbringing, he's sharing with his family there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
And so I don't know if we thought that we were just going to go everywhere and everybody was going to dress like us and look like us. I don't think that's the way it's going to happen. We're going to influence people, but they're going to be who they are because they have cultures and traditions too. And a lot of these cultures and traditions are life-giving and connected. So I say the same for the youth. Understand that people, I think there's almost a panic. Oh, we're losing our culture. And there is an influence from the West. I agree. But do you know how? You know how we get on top of our game? We become a living example of health, of kindness, of goodness, of authenticity, truthfulness. And our youth will say, I want to be just like that. When we do it, when we are charitable, and I'm not saying like anything goes. That is not what I'm saying.
Right.
But when they stop seeing division, when they start seeing the fathers and the mothers reach and pull somebody out the gutter for real and make an impact in their lives. And they may not wear fringes and they might even eat dairy. But when they see us reach for them in sincerity and with care, and when they see us stop, you know, like really unite and be unified, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter when, and I'm going to say this, when they see the senior brothers come back into the fold and whatever's keeping that from happening, because they respect those men. When they see that, because I'm going to, you know, talk about some of these issues and I'm not afraid. And unfortunately, I really am not overly concerned with what I'm saying is popular, or I'm not, because
truth is
it's
truth.
The truth.
And truth has to be spoken.
And so many people are saying it
behind closed doors.
Okay, so this is not a closed door.
Right.
And so
I don't even want to say behind closed doors, in their own little circles.
In their own circles.
But it's time for us really to come together and talk.
And really just like understand that everybody has a piece of this puzzle. And when we all work together,
the puzzle
we
is
may
complete.
not agree.
Yeah.
You may not like somebody. So what?
Yeah.
I might not like everybody, but I know I might not like one of the most talented people I know that can do anything. But if somebody asks me, who should I go to? I'm going to tell you, go to her.
She going to get it done.
Because my little opinion about somebody's on some personal trivial stuff, it's not about anything.
But when we get to a point where we're no longer living in constant judgment of each other,
right,
and we get to a level of a vibrational frequency then you
You're
can
right.
you can maneuver.
You can maneuver.
You know.
And even when you're not judging and you're at a higher frequency, it doesn't mean that you like everybody, but what you do is you respect the fact that they are an individual with their own unique talents. They have value and worth.
Yeah.
And they have something that we need.
Yeah.
So I want our youth, right? I want our youth to stay questioning the things in our community that they're not comfortable with, that are not based in truth.
Yeah.
I want them to continue to do that.
Yeah.
I want our youth to work with us. Sometimes take the lead.
Right.
Sometimes be a follower.
Right.
Take whatever you have that's progressive and life-giving. Bring your talents. But they would do it if they are well received.
Right.
If they are told that what they are doing is important and what they have to offer is needed.
Right.
So I want them to do that. I want them to be true. This is the age from millennials to Gen Z, and I love using these terms, to Gen Z, Generation Alpha. These are people who are they came up in an age, the information age. They're very in tune about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it makes them a little self-centered and narcissistic, but I'm just saying, because those are some characteristics that
go with that. Right.
But they're very in tune with how they feel and what they think, and they make good observations about things.
Right.
And they live in their authenticity.
Yeah.
I want them to keep doing that.
Right.
But consider that this nation still has to grow, and it has to evolve, and it has to stand. And we have to begin, I want them not to be deterred and stay away. Don't be scared of frowns, and work through it. Keep pushing those doors. Mm-hmm. Keep knocking on those doors. Okay? See the benefit of living a natural lifestyle. I just wish them growth and advancement. I wish them happiness, peace, joy. I want them to understand that the generation under them is watching them.
Right.
And they have to make wise decisions. And I want them to grab behind and grab in front of. Mm-hmm. So,
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I want. Toda to you.
So our last questions. Do you have any goals, dreams, visions, etc., that you haven't yet accomplished that you'd like to accomplish? That's one. Then very last question. If there's anything at all that we have not covered that you would like to share before we close out.
I'm not just going to continue to teach English.
Okay.
I'm going to teach it, but at some point, I am going to take a course. I want to be a certified counselor. I don't know if it's marriage counselor or a children's or family counseling. Family counseling. But that's something that I want under my belt, and I want to do it. I also have, I'm good at organizing spaces. Don't look at my iron so well, but I know how to declutter.
Right.
And so, somebody said maybe you should look at that as a profession. Mm-hmm. So that might be something I do. I also would at some point like to work with a viable organization that offers programming to children, like extracurricular programming as an organizer. Mm-hmm. So like do the summer camp thing on a big
right.
So those are things that I would like to do.
Okay. And travel.
And travel. Thank you.
Yes.
And travel. And so I think we've covered everything. I don't have anything else. I've really enjoyed this experience with you. I like spaces where I can speak from the heart. So I appreciate the opportunity to do so. Thank you. Thank you for this series, because I like the way that you invite people who may not always be invited to share their story.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
And it's important for all of us to share our stories.
Living Chronicles is open to, and I always say this as a plug, that it's open to anyone and everyone that has been or still is a part of this journey.
Yes.
This has been an epic journey.
Yes, it
you
has.
know, and all of our stories have not been the same. Some of us have great things to say, and some of us are living still in the trauma of it. But it's open to everyone. I just try to do it in a respectful way. And some people don't understand when I say that you cannot call names. This is not about denigrating. It's not about tearing down. It's not about destroying. This is not Jerry Springer.
Right.
If
you're going to call names, call them in the positive light.
Call them in the positive. And the reality is that even when my son did his documentary, he got sued by someone that was videoed in the documentary. So I can't make that, open that door, or having my YouTube channel shut down, playlist at the moment, but I want people to be able to be authentic in their truth, in their journey and in their story, to share the pain and the challenges. And especially if you've been able to overcome it, how you came to terms with it, because healing is so very needed for all of us.
Yes.
I'm
in therapy right now. And it's not ongoing. I know my therapist is like, you don't come in like you're supposed to.
I've been in therapy at different times, and every time it has been wonderful. But what I've been finding now is, because I do so much affirming and living in gratitude as I put into the universe what it is that I desire, nothing ever happens by chance.
No, everything is divine alignment.
Yes,
it really is.
And so when I do that, and it's like that's part of my healing until I do get in therapy again. But
and likewise, I mean, just everybody needs therapy on some level.
On some level,
somebody might not need to sit in front of a person. Maybe they can read their way through it.
Right.
I don't know. Right. Just by virtue that you're alive on this planet and all the things that have happened to all the inhabitants.
All of the inhabitants. And no one, like they say, let no stone be unturned.
Right.
Let no person. Right.
We all need help.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, Toveet, I have thoroughly enjoyed your company.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
And to the listening audience, please continue to tune in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And until next time,
be
shalom.
Happy.